Into a developer, demo of developer assistant.
Chris, typically what flavors of FileMaker or plugins work under?
Developer assistant on Mac is FileMaker 11 only because they changed the internal architecture majorly, which actually made developer assistant a lot easier to create in FileMaker 11. On Windows, it supports back to FileMaker 7. And I'm probably not going to support Mac before 11 just because it would be a major design change, almost like starting from scratch. Right. So let's see. So the first thing, the big thing that people like about Developer Assistant is the ability to search scripts.
That's right.
Here's the window.
Well, if we don't, it's not correct.
We'll just make sure it comes back. And I will search for unknown. And it's plowing through the scripts. It opens up the edit script window and shows you this line that contains unknown. So this is obviously useful if you're trying to find any places with broken references. You can just search for unknown and find them all and fix them. And when it gets to the end, it'll tell you there's no more matches to unknown, and that's it.
Chris, under that pull down right there where your mouse is down,
Yeah.
in all scripts, or what are the other options?
List lines? Yeah. I'll get to list lines soon. I want to demonstrate that you can use regular expressions. So, papers in my way. We can search for print setup. If you don't know regular expressions, you can find an introduction in the documentation, and it links to outside sites that give you more.
There are dozens of websites that have information of it. It's all over the internet.
Yeah. So this is searching for print, not followed by setup. Oh, this is going to fail because I'm not searching in script step names. So print is a script step name. You need to match script step names checked in order to find it. So we found a print script step. And if we unchecked that, we wouldn't find it. And because I changed the search here, it's only searching in this script, which is shown here. If I went back to this window, it would search in all scripts again.
Chris?
Yeah.
When you check match script steps names, I don't remember, does it mean that it also does that, or it only does that?
It also does that.
You're just adding that to the mix?
Right.
Okay.
So it's not only script steps. You can find things outside of script steps as well. Now, list lines is much faster. So if we wanted to find, let's see, sales is right here, so let's search for sales. We found sales. And it searches pretty much instantly through all the scripts. Now, the disadvantage of using list line search in scripts is obviously it doesn't search within the scripts, and it's just searching their titles, but if you make the titles invisible like that, it won't find them. So you gotta watch out for that when searching in scripts. But searching in list lines can be done in almost any FileMaker list, like this is a FileMaker list. So if we make that active and then search for Go, we find Go to layout, record, Go to related record, etc.
And are the script steps within that script considered a list?
Yeah, so this is also considered a list. If we make this part active and then do our find, I don't think there's any goes in there. So we can search for else and so on. So lists are also things like lists of import fields, export fields. Data viewer contains lists. So there's a lot of places you can search.
Are you saying it'll work with defining and import matching in the import matching dialog?
Yes. Let's see. So let's go look at searching in the managed database window.
That would be a good help.
Oh, yeah, relationships. Yes.
Yes, that.
Good.
If you want to search in relationships, this is not currently available to the public. This is a feature I'm working on that you can search. List lines won't be available in the relationships window when it's done. You can search for group, and it'll find the activities group entities table.
That's the one.
What is that going to
I'm expecting within a month or so. Someone have a question?
No,
Chris, are you going to charge for that upgrade?
No. The upgrades are free for a year, so anyone who's already bought it. Definitely. You can also search in the field tab, and I'm going to search for first name. And we found the first name field.
So that pop-up changes depending on what your context is.
Right, so we're searching in DB fields here.
What else do you have in that pop-up?
The typical list lines again.
Yeah, what would this lines be in this context?
Anything you can see visibly, so person ID, you can find the word number, you can find the word index.
Oh, I see.
So for all the
Okay.
validation, you can find out validated.
So, do me a favor, do list lines and type in the word serial. Yay. Or it's a primary key and somebody else's
Right.
database is inherited, that's great.
Or unique, or any of the validation options.
So when you're searching for first name, it also is searching the validation options. It's searching any metadata that's included when you copy this field. So one interesting thing, if I search for first name, I find, let's see, first formal plus middle name. That's what I do. Go. I think I must be past it already. It should find last name.
Oh, because it's in the validation for last name?
Yeah.
Oh, you're on the slides.
Oh, I'm still on those lines, that's why. So back to DB fields. Click. Right. First name finds last name, which is counterintuitive, but if you look at it, it's actually in an old validation that is not currently being used. But
So it finds the hidden ones.
right, it finds hidden things.
And we'll find strings within, so if you have, let's just say you have underscores, separators between words and so forth, and you want to search for a pattern.
Yeah, you can do regex search. In fact, I've been doing regex search accidentally. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
So if we copy this, we can go into, get out of the data.
And one more question, Chris. Does it search within the contents of the calc as well?
Yes. So this is our Clipboard Explorer plugin, can actually show us what it's searching. I copied the field, and now in our clipboard we have this garbage, and we have Mac XMFD, which stands for field definition. And if I get the contents, this is the XML data that it's actually searching. And you'll see first name somewhere in there.
All the metadata, yeah. This is more Explorer, or is this something that you?
Yeah, this is another of our plugins that lets you get and set pretty much any format of clipboard data that can be interpreted as a text string. Back to my other. All right. So I've talked about searching fields. This one.
Variables, evaluate selection.
Evaluate.
Yeah.
That's
Done that.
huge.
Now, evaluate is nothing but searching, but if we go and look at this little evaluation I came up with, if you wanted to figure out why this calculation didn't equal 4 in Data Viewer, you would have to copy this, and notice that Data Viewer is not available here. We actually have to close our calculation and go to Data Viewer, create a new watch, and paste it in, and evaluate it. 96 is what we expected. And then we can't go back to our script as long as this is open, so we have to close that. And then we can, Data Viewer is now away, so we have to click the specify button. Developer Assistant lets you simply select what you want to evaluate and click evaluate. And we get 96. So
That can save me so much time.
It's huge.
you can do that when you're debugging scripts. You can figure out why a long, complicated thing isn't working right.
Yep.
So you can evaluate a bigger selection, 101.75 is what we use.
I'm saying, there's multiple fields just to evaluate parts of it.
Yeah.
And how does it escape errors? Because if you select something that won't evaluate correctly.
Yeah, like that won't evaluate correctly.
And if you have a
So
long,
it'll just say it'll
complicated
fail.
calc, you paste in data viewer and you gotta fix all the table
You
records.
fix all the
Yeah.
tables.
Right, exactly, which is, yeah, this is great.
And of course, you can evaluate the whole field just by not selecting
And
anything.
you can evaluate.
And this is saying that
Sure.
the evaluation 4 equals 4 returns true, which FileMaker returns as 1.
Does it also evaluate with the tooltip?
With the what?
A tooltip?
No, you have to click evaluate. Let's see, so, the other thing that some people were asking me about recently, this used to be called dump vars, and people wondering what that meant. It actually has nothing to do with Developer Assistant, but EP variables are part of every plugin in the FMDiSC family. So it'll explain when you click the button that the following variables are stored by the FMDiSC family of plugins. They may be set by calling EPVAR with the name of the variable and the value, or you can read them by calling EPVAR with the name of the variable. These variables work back to FileMaker 7. FileMaker introduced their own variables in FileMaker 8, but there's only 2 scopes of FileMaker variables with FileMaker, whereas we have, I think, 5 scopes that can demonstrate. So with a FileMaker global, actually with a 2empowerFM global, we can use star means global, so I'll just check global and set it to a value of 1, 2, 3, and evaluate it. It'll return blank, meaning it was set, and then you can get its value just by erasing the value and evaluate it again. We'll get 1, 2, 3. I'll monitor that. And if we go back to this database,
And the scope of that is?
it's truly global.
Which means as long as you have FileMaker open.
Right. Any database in FileMaker, this will return.
Across files and tables and everything.
Right, right, right. Yeah, so FileMaker globals are not what I would call global, they're database scope. They're only available within a certain database. And we handle database scope as well. We just have to change the first symbol to an @ which I think looks a little bit like a D in a circle, which is why you should. And
Of course, if we program using that variable, the solution won't work without the plugin.
right, right. So this is basically if you have FileMaker 7, you can use variables, or if you want to use database, truly global scope, Windows scope, or I think those are the 2 that FileMaker does.
So your globals can be Windows scoped as well?
Yeah. We have 5 different scopes: Windows scope, global scope, database scope, script scope, and then there's system scope, which I guess really is something you would use. We return some results using these variables. System scope. Now that I've set this database global, we can get the results that way, but it also uses FileMaker database variable storage, so we should be able to get the results that way too. Okay. And we'll notice that this variable is available in this database, but not in this database. All right.
And the use of those variables, do you have to have the plugin installed to interpret those?
To interpret the EPVAR function call, yeah. But the $$ global is obviously a FileMaker.
Chris,
Yeah.
on the evaluate, I remember when I talked to you last time, you said Mac users have another option with evaluate that Windows users
Right.
don't, by having multiple selections.
Right. I was about to demonstrate that.
Oh, you were?
But thank you for bringing it up. So we can use Developer Assistant to evaluate this, and it returns blank indicating success. Now we've got a global set to 4, 5, 6. If you want to quickly figure out what this global is set to, you can hold the Command key and select this last little bracket. And now when we click Evaluate, it's like evaluating EPVAR followed by the bracket. And Mac lets you select any number of selections with the Command key. Windows unfortunately doesn't have that ability built in Windows field. Right, so any questions on Developer Assistant?